Today we are rebuilding Crystal Palace. The Eagles from the south of England have never won a trophy in their entire history. And so today it is Rebuild Sombrero's job, after a quite disappointing start to the season, to bring them back on track, make them not only competitive but the best club in England and in Europe at the end of the rebuild. Looking at this squad, I mean, we have some talents like Marquez, like Lacroix as well, who they bought in the summer. Munoz at right back is not too bad. But in midfield we have, of course, Adam Wharton, a man I want to build a team around. What I don't like is the formation though. Some players out of position, 5 at the back. I don't really... I don't know, I'm not really a fan of that. Today we are going for the wing play with Crystal Palace, with the likes of Azzi and maybe a new right winger. We can put a lot of pressure on the wings. There are 2 players on loan to us, Turner and Chaluba. Both of those are going to return to their parent clubs in Nottingham Forest and Chelsea at the end of this season. What I would say, looking at this team, is that the strikers are a little bit average. We only have one at the club, Mateta, right now, and then Ketia, who is on the right wing. I know they've just bought him, but I'm not really a fan of this. And maybe a new midfielder alongside Wharton, who is also out of position, by the way. I'm going to go with the 4-3-3 on defend, which puts Doucouré into the team. And Richards goes out there, of course. I don't want to play a 5 at the back. Still, though, the problem's at right wing, as we have no real superstar there. We have Sarr, who we can put there for now. To do that, we have around about 61 million in our budget. Also, just to let you know, in the default youth academy, we have some talents here. A few English, other players also, 1 from Austria, 2 from Ireland. But quite some good talents who I'm going to promote and let come into the first team. I've also hired a default scout here, Louis Bird, 5-star scout, to look for some youth talents as well. To get in further funds, we've made whole Easter sales. Will Hughes goes to Fulham for 4 million. Joel Ward to Brentford. Jeffrey Schlupp goes to Wolves. And Jefferson Lerma, maybe the biggest one of them all, to Aston Villa for 17 million. Which means that we are now back up to a royal budget of 96 million for 3 players, because we have 3 transfers per season. Our first signing with Crystal Palace on a 5-year deal is a CDM from Bayern Munich. He's only 27. He wanted to see the Premier League for a bit after being in Munich for a couple of years. It is the Austrian Konrad Laimer joining us for 45 million. The second player we bring in comes from the MLS. Yes, guys, the American League, Major League Soccer. A new striker will fight it out with Mateta and then Ketia. It is Cucho. His contract was expiring from Columbus Crew for 17 million. Our final signing for Season 1 is a very big one. Comes from AC Milan, a right winger, in a swap deal as well. It is Samuel Chukwueze joining us from Milan for 16 million plus Jean-Philippe Mateta. Which means that with especially Konrad Laimer, we've really strengthened that midfield. Cucho goes up top, of course. We didn't need Mateta anymore, as we've just bought a new striker who I'm putting all my hopes in. I'm putting Kamada in the center midfield spot. Sarr is, of course, getting replaced by Chukwueze. Sarr goes to the bench now. Franza is a big talent at Cam on the bench. Our defense is looking quite good. Of course, the default Palace side, that is. At the end of the transfer window, we've also sold Rob Holding to Leicester for 2.8 million. Season 1 with Crystal Palace is over, and I'm really happy. 9th spot, 12 wins, 15 draws, 11 losses, 51 points, 9th spot, very, very good. We have Manchester City, who are the champions, ahead of Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. The FA Cup goes to Manchester City over Liverpool. We have made it into the semi-final. Semi-final got knocked out by City on penalties. That was unlucky. The Carabao goes to Manchester City as well over Nottingham Forest. Here we've made it into the round of 16, round 4, before getting knocked out by Fulham. We have 23 goals for Eberechi Eze, who has, of course, been converted to a left winger, 84 rated. 21 for striker Cucho, who is up to an 81. Good choice. 9 goals, 11 assists for Chukwueze at an 84. Those two here, Cucho and Chukwueze, have been our signings this season. They've really delivered. Looking at the team here, I mean, I can't really complain a lot. Most of the players have grown. Mitchell, 79. Gehi, the captain, 83. Lacroix has grown to 78. Even Lima has grown alongside Wharton, of course. A very good front three. Season 1 has been a successful one. Semi-final of the FA Cup, 9th place in the Premier League. I think Crystal Palace would sign that off immediately in real life. To start off the second season, we've made a whole list of sales. Raksaki ruled Mallorca. Adaramola goes to Norwich. 2 young players, just like Obo. Chibueze to Valencia. Ahamada goes to Ipswich to strengthen them. Killian Phillips to Coventry for 2 million. And then Otsen Edouard, maybe one of the biggest ones, to Brentford for 9.5 million. Also means that we are up to 98 million in our budget. A whole lot of money to spend on 3 players. We've also found 3 incredibly interesting players from the youth. 2 can already get promoted and then loaned out. First thing we're doing in terms of incomings this season is rejuvenating and strengthening the right back spot. We had Munoz, who is already 29. He's 80 rated, granted. But now we've brought in a much younger player by the name of Malo Gusto, joining us for 44 million from Chelsea. Second and certainly final player this season we go in for is a new goalkeeper. Henderson was not bad for us, but he will now be the backup goalkeeper, because we've got in the French talented goalkeeper Lucas Chevalier for 51 million from Atalanta in this save. This now means that Gusto goes into that right back spot, 22-82. We have other players like Chevalier, who is also now going into the starting 11, ahead of Henderson, who is 5 years older and 3 overall lower. We've also strengthened that bench with Henderson and, of course, Munoz now being on there. And I got done and dusted, and we have finished 1 place above where we finished last season, in 8th spot, just 8 points below Arsenal in the first Champions League spot. Spurs win a trophy. They defeat Man United in the FA Cup final. We have been knocked out early doors by Burnley in round 3. Aston Villa win the Carabao over Leicester. Here we've been knocked out by Aston Villa in round 4. We are looking once again at 22 goals for Chukwueze, 8 assists as well, 85 rated, 14 for Cucho as well, 13 for 87 rated Eberechi Eze, and 8 goals, 7 assists for Deichi Kamada. I'd say a solid season in terms of growth, good front 3, very good midfield, and a solid defense. Maybe we should replace Lacroix next season, because he's the only player now not in their 80s. Still, I'm quite satisfied with that second season. 8th place in the Premier League is not too bad. Let's hope that in Season 3 we can finally break into the Premier League top 6. Well, I didn't even have to look for a long time to find a new centre-back. I found an absolute superstar prospect. He's only 17 years old, a regen. Free agent as well, which makes it even better. It is Torsten Scholz coming in for €0 to Crystal Palace. We bring a former Crystal Palace player back to the Premier League. Back to Crystal Palace as well. He played for Chelsea, went to Atletico Madrid, and now he's back in the Premier League. It is the Englishman Conor Gallagher joining us for 52 million from Atletico Madrid. We have also sold Maxence Lacroix for 21 million to Roma. He wanted to leave the club. Liam Phillips, the former youth academy player, goes to Norwich for 2.5 million. And Malcolm Ebiove goes to Sheffield United for 5. As well as finally Chadi Riyad for 9.5 million to Frankfurt. As our final signing of Season 3, we go in for a very talented left-back who will give competition to Tyrek Mitchell. He's only 18 years old. It is Gregorio Ramirez, a regen coming in from Eibar for 35 million. For now, Mitchell still keeps that starting left-back spot. He's one of the OGs. Ramirez is the same overall, 8 years younger. And Our bench is also looking better and better. We've of course Kamada now being on there. McCann is from the youth, also on the reserves. We have Scholz at centre-back. He's a left-footed centre-back, so he goes on the left side. He's 1781 rated. Gallagher is 2683. And Ramirez, of course, 80 rated. 3 ends, and somehow we are the Premier League champions. How does that work? 8 points ahead of Manchester City, 14 ahead of Man United, and even 17 ahead of Liverpool. Absolutely crazy. Arsenal win the FA Cup of Ipswich. We got knocked out by Man United in round 4. And Arsenal also won the Carabao Cup. Here we got knocked out in round 4 as well by Man City on penalties. The Champions League goes to Real Madrid over Barcelona. We will of course play there after our absolutely sensational run in the Premier League this season. Chelsea win the Europa League over Rangers on penalties. And finally, Shakhtar Donetsk defeat Mainz 0-5 in the Conference League final. I mean, the stats are very well balanced. Chukwueze 23, Eze 22 and 12, 20 goals for Cucho even, who is up to an 84. Eze is 90 rated, but no one really stands out. These three are at the top. There is no one with 30 plus goals, which I would have expected given we have won the Premier League. However, looking at this side, it's a very, very good one. I mean, we are going to put Ramirez now at left back as he's the best rated. I don't even really know what to improve next season. A crazy season sees us seal the Premier League title. Was it a fluke or is it a sign for things to come? Let's find out in season number 4. It's season 4 and we have around 137 million in our bank. This is the one to put the focus on buying very high quality backups, bringing them into the side, making us overall a stronger team. Starting off with a new CDM for the bench, Alexander Pavlovic comes in, still very young, 23, comes in from Udinese in this save, 25 million plus Eddie Nketiah, our backup striker. In the meantime, we have sold Mateusz Franca to West Ham for 36 million. David Oso to Watford for 9 million and then loaned out 2 youth academy players who are already at a quite high overall, 72 and 74. Second signing of this season for a new backup striker as we have lost Eddie Nketiah. He hasn't died or something, but he has left us. That's why we've gone in for the vicious joker that is John Duran, the Colombian. 40 million he cost us from VfB Stuttgart. Our final signing for season number 4 is a new backup right winger. Of course we've got Sarr before, but now we've managed to send him away in a swap deal to Real Madrid of all clubs. It is the exciting prospect Giovanni Cuenda joining us for 42.3 million plus Ismaila Sarr from Real Madrid. So this is how the squad is looking like. Pavlovic in the reserves, Cuenda 2080 on the bench. And finally, of course, John Duran, the striker, backup striker, 2381. We, as I said, have done a lot of groundwork in the backup options. And so now we are ready, in my opinion, to challenge, to crack on in the UEFA Champions League. First competitive game of the season against the FA Cup winners Arsenal at Wembley Stadium. Let's see how this goes. We lose on penalties, just about 2-2 after 90. Rice, Cucho, Saliba and Cucho with a brace actually scored the goals. 4-2 we lose on penalties. John Duran, Cucho missed their penalties. In season number 4 we are once again leading the league after 23 games on the same points as Liverpool. First place on 53 points. We've also finished in the top 6, the top 8 actually, of the Champions League phase. In 6th place, 15 points, 4 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. That is a very good thing. We don't have to go to the playoffs. We will immediately go to the round of 16. Round of 16 matchup will be with Lazio, first away from home at the Stadio Olimpico. Can we lay the ground foundations here? It's a 2-2 draw. Eze and Chukwueze secure the draw here. The second leg at Selhurst Park is underway. Can we get it here in the first knockout round of the Champions League? Yes, it's an Eze goal in the first minute that decides the tie. That is all it took. 1-0, 3-2 on aggregate. We are through to the quarterfinals of the UCL. Quarter-final matchup it is. Bayer Leverkusen we face. 86 rated Cucho, 88 rated Schulz, even 86 Gehi. Gusto as well. Let's see how it goes at Selhurst Park here against Leverkusen. It's a 2-all draw. Xhaka, Ezeg, Sané and Gallagher with the 4 goals. Can we get a result away at the Bayer Arena, the second leg? Can we book our spots in the semis? Yes, it's a 4-2 win. Eze, Cucho with a brace and Chukwueze. 6-4 on aggregate. We are through to the semi-finals of the UCL. Here is the big game at Selhurst Park. We will host Real Madrid, the kings of Europe. I don't have the highest of expectations. Let's see how it goes. It's a 2-1 loss. Vini Jr. and Arda Güler turned the game around actually for Madrid. We were up 1-0, but we couldn't hold the lead. The big question is, can we make a comeback happen away at the Estadio Santiago Bernabeu? Certainly one of the most difficult venues to go and play football. Still, we have to go with a courageous heart, a courageous mindset, go into the game, and we win! We have turned the game around, and we are into the final. Wharton, Cucho, we were behind in the game through Dembele, who is, funnily enough, an ex-Barcelona player. Cucho, Wharton and Eze in the extra time turned the game around to shock Real Madrid, make them tumble, and we are through to the Champions League final. I mean, this rebuild has gone way too perfectly. We are into the final of the Champions League in our first time of asking against PSG in season
We've
number 4. We've even claimed back-to-back Premier League titles, 11 points ahead of both Manchester City and Newcastle United. We are for real the new powerhouse in English football. We still cannot win a cup competition though to save our lives. Arsenal win the FA Cup over Middlesbrough. We've been knocked out very early doors by Wickham in round 3, 2-4 to Wickham. That is a bit mad. Arsenal win the Carabao over Leicester. Here we've been knocked out in round 3, not much better, but at least it was a better team. Spurs on penalties as well. Good omen here as Arsenal win the Europa League over Real Sociedad and already collect trophies in Europe for England. The Conference League goes to Stuttgart over Real Betis. And I mean, Cucho has been an absolute revelation. I wouldn't have guessed that he would go up to an 87 after 4 seasons. 32 goals, 28 goals, 22 assists for Eze. That is crazy as well. 22 goals and 11 assists for Chukwueze, great. And then a big drop-off to Lima, who is very steady though. 88 rated. I've rarely seen him grow that much. This is how the squad is looking like. Of course, the free agent Scholz has come to help. He's 1988 overall. Ramirez 2085. But also the others we bought. Gallagher, Lima, the OGs Gehi and Wharton. Eze as well. Gusto even 86 rated. And our goalkeeper, our fortress at the back, 88 rated. No wonder we've been that great so far. However, for now, let's finish off the job. It is at Wembley Stadium against PSG, the French Giants. Let's do this. Here it is then, PSG against Crystal Palace at Wembley Stadium. But Lima intercepts, then gives it away immediately. This is Matistel against Scholz, but Scholz does well. We lose the ball in midfield in a dangerous spot, but goalkeeper Chevalier shows why he's so good. This is Gallagher, Conor Gallagher, looking for Cucho, with a great little trickery, but his shot gets blocked. Gusto looking for Chukwueze. Chukwueze back to Gusto, this is Cucho Hernandez. Oh, what a great save by Donnarumma, but what a turn as well by Cucho. PSG still on the charge, Pedri even playing for them, now gives it into Neves, great ball into Barcola. 1-0 to PSG. I mean, yeah, what can you do about this? Nice little intricate play, and it's 1-0 to PSG. We haven't seen much of the likes of Eberechi Eze. Cucho, now maybe it is Eberechi Eze's time to shine. As I say this, he scores the equalizer. Yes, there it is. One action, and Eberechi Eze absolutely delivers. Good ball by Cucho, who sees the opened up Eberechi Eze, who can fire this home to make it 1-1 at the brink of half time. I still retain that PSG have been the slightly better side in the first half. But we have found a way to equalize. And now we are actually the victims of a nasty foul by Pedri. And I think that may have injured Gallagher. I'm not so sure. Yes, it has. So let's see if we can run this off as Schultz gets taken down as well. I mean, PSG are now playing with wood here. And that is a yellow card for Gabriel Martinelli. How about the upcoming free kick by Eberechi Eze? It's 5 kilometers an hour wind, but that doesn't trouble Donnarumma. And now careful, as Martinelli wants to break free against Schultz. He does so with ease. Still Martinelli going into the penalty box. We get him off the ball somehow though. This is Konrad Laimer. Can he find the way into Cucho Hernandez? It's Cucho. Akanji can't keep up with him. This is Cucho. Making it 2-1 to the Eagles, to Crystal Palace. At the hour mark. I mean, I nearly thought Cucho wouldn't get this, but he does it so well, so calmly collected and calculated into the bottom corner. No chance for Donnarumma. Tell gets it back. Shoots from distance, but Chevalier is there as per usual. Barcola gets it back. Barcola up against Laimer. Laimer, with all his experience, does brilliantly well. And now going the other way. Maybe Cucho can finish it off here. Into Eze, who scores! His brace, an assist by Cucho Hernandez. Eberechi Eze is a star man at this point, an absolute starlet. And he will bring Crystal Palace its first ever Champions League trophy. We make a few changes, bringing on the likes of Kuenda for, of course, Chukwueze. Also bringing on Doucouré for Wharton. Doucouré is actually higher rated as well. Didn't even notice that. And Tyrek Mitchell also, as well as just John Duran, to give those guys a little try as well. I didn't bring them in for nothing. Here is Quenda, the man, the talent we bought actually. Can he already set free John Duran? This is John Duran. Nearly gets a fourth for Crystal Palace, but in the end they clear it. However, now this is about to be it. The game is done and dusted. The referee blows his whistle. Crystal Palace, champions of Europe. A team that never won a title in real life. Here we've changed that. 2 Premier League titles have changed the fortunes first of all. And the Champions League is the cherry on top. Barcola brought PSG ahead, but we've turned the game around with an Eberechi Eze brace as well as a goal by signing of Season 1, Cucho Hernandez. But lads, if you enjoyed this rebuild with Crystal Palace, then please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel. I'm gonna leave you alone with the celebrations of the Champions League trophy. Marquez will lift the elusive trophy, but I'm gonna say have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching. It's been Rebuild Sombrero. I'm out.